Hello everyone, welcome back to Explore Grammar with Zabed. Can we imagine a day where we don't make any movement? Then we all will be absolutely still. It is difficult to think such a day, isn't it? We all are moving closer to people or things, or moving away from them. We are entering or leaving a place up and down, going round or around, across the road or through the forest or past something. To help us express these movements, prepositions of direction are required. Therefore, in this lesson, you will learn how to express motion or movements with the help of prepositions to, towards, into, up to, at, for, from, along, across, against, etc. During this session, you will also be able to clear your confusion related to towards versus to versus into, and also learn other phrases and much more. My vision is to make grammar accessible to all by making it more lively, entertaining, and functional. Every lesson is a new learning experience for me, as it is for you all. So, without getting any longer, let's get started.
Before going to the discussion, let's try to know what are preposition of direction and movement. Preposition of direction and movement are used to show direction of movement to and from a fixed point. They are most often used with verbs of motion and found after verbs. Common preposition of direction and movement are to, towards, for, from, up, down, into, of, against, out of, across, through, along, etc. So let's start our discussion with to and towards. Please read the two sentences given on your screen. I am going to Canada. I am going towards Canada. Now, these two sentences may sound similar, but there is a difference. And the lack of knowledge of this difference leads to confusion while opting for to and towards. We need to remember, when we use to, we are talking about the destination or the place where we want to go. On the other hand, when we use towards, we are talking about the direction where we are heading. So, in these two sentences, to Canada means the place where I want to go, and towards Canada is the direction of that place. Let's see some more examples to understand them better. The company has shifted its head office to California. The players are running towards the ground. The children are going to school. The plane was flying towards Istanbul. In the first and the third sentence, we are talking about the destination, and in the second and fourth, we are talking about the direction. With the verbs travel, come, and go, we use preposition to quite frequently. To talk about place or event, some common phrases that we use in our day-to-day life are a trip to, a visit to, on my way to, and so on. Let's look into some examples of it. Tazrian will travel to New York this month. We will go to a concert this weekend. On her way to office, she met an old friend. We must remain careful with the word whom. We say go home, come home, arrive home, and on the way home. While most verbs expressing movements or direction require preposition to before nouns, but the word whom is an exception and it doesn't require preposition to. As for example, it's time to go home now. Now let's discuss at as preposition of direction. Preposition at gives an idea of aiming at something, hitting something, or the direction in which we look or point something. Let's look into some examples to understand better. Mahin threw stones at the window. In the sentence, stones hit the window. The police arrested the suspects who shot at the people. In the sentence, suspects targeted the people. You are not in prison, so you don't have to stare at the wall. Preposition up to is usually used after the verbs come, go, and walk to express movements towards a person. Please try to remember that up to is always two words, not one. An example of it. Lisa walked up to me to clarify things. Now, preposition into. Into expresses movements towards the interior of something. As a result of movement or motion, something becomes closed or surrounded by something else. Let's look into some examples of it. The boys jumped into the sea from a great height. Rania got into the car and drove away. In all the sentences, there is a movement or motion towards the interior of something. Many speakers and writers, especially the non-native ones, make these very common mistakes of using in instead of into. We need to simply remember that preposition in talks about the position and into expresses the movement. See the two sentences on your screen. Children are in the swimming pool. Children jumped into the swimming pool. The first sentence talks about the position of children and the second one is about the movement of the children. Phrase out of is the opposite of preposition into. Out of means someone or something is coming out of interior of some other thing. Remember that in, into, the movement is towards to interior. And in, out of, the movement is outwards. Let's look into some examples of it. Joseph came out of the car and walked towards the office. The frogs jumped out of the pool. Preposition of expresses separation or disconnection when someone or something loses the contact of some other thing. It also means from the surface, of, or down from. Let's see some examples. The child fell off the bike and got injured. Here we mean the child fell down from the bike. Don't try to get off a moving train. You will injure yourself. Here we are talking of separation. You might have seen some signboards with messages written with the help of off, such as keep off the railway tracks. Here, the preposition of means one should keep away from the prohibited places. Preposition for is used to show direction when there is a beginning of a movement. It also shows the destination and which direction someone or something is heading. As for example, his father left for the office. When someone or something reaches the destination, to talk about its point of departure, we use preposition from. Preposition from tells us the source or the place from where someone or something started. For example, the wind is coming from the south. The old man walked all the way from home. She has received a letter from her father. In all the sentences, from tells us the destination or origin from where something started. Preposition against means that someone or something is moving in the opposite direction and there is a resistance or pressure due to this. We also use against when something makes a contact with some other thing. Let's see some examples of it. The rain beat against the window panes. The sailors are finding it difficult to sail against the wave. The waves struck against the shore with force. In the first and third sentences, there is a contact between two things. But in the second sentence, the thing is moving opposite direction. Moving on with the following preposition and, that is up. Up is used to show movement from low to high. As for example, he was climbing up the hill. The following preposition of direction is down. Preposition of direction down refers to movement from high to low. It is the exact opposite of up. As for example, he skid down the hill. Moving on with the next preposition of direction, across. Across means on the other side of something which has sides or limits, such as a city, road, or a river. As for example, we took a ferry across the river. Moving on with the next preposition of direction, along. Along is used to show movement in a line next to things which are long and narrow. These include rivers, roads, corridors, etc. For example, they are walking along the beach. Last but not the least, preposition of direction, through. Through is used to refer from one end or side of something or somebody to the other. From the beginning to the end of an activity, a situation, or a period of time. Something to see, hear, etc. Something from the other side of an object or a substance. Let's see some example to understand it better. The girl is halfway through his second novel. I couldn't hear the conversation through the door. So friends, that is it in this lesson. I hope you would have enjoyed learning about various preposition of direction and movement. Thank you for watching the video. If you have any query or suggestion related to the lesson, please feel free to write it in the comment section. If you like the video, please hit the like button. Do share the video so others can learn. And do subscribe the channel. Please don't forget to press the bell icon to get regular update about the course. See you next time. Until then, stay safe, stay good.